I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Who would win, Eddie?
Carl Froch or Joe Calzaghe?
Listen, the day I bet against Carl Froch is the day
You're in Wales, by the way.
Don't matter. I love Joe Calzaghe. I would never, ever bet against Carl Froch. I mean, I'm not saying that we're the greatest friends of all time. He's my friend. But the respect I have for that man is second to none. If I wanted to take one fighter with me, be a toss-up between him and Bellew, into war, it would probably be Carl Froch. And I would never back against him in any fight.
All right, Joe.
What about... He's not here. What about Carl Froch against Darren Till?
Are you going to try and make that?
Yeah, that's the talk.
Darren Till against Rocky Fielding? Is that the chat as well?
Yeah, that is. You're right.
I'd do that fight. Listen, I'm not all for older fighters coming back to fight, YouTube fights, etc. But one thing I would definitely do is Darren Till against Carl Froch.
How many buys does that do?
Oh, God, blimey. I mean, you know, I'm having a little stirring in the pants thinking about it, Umar, in all honesty. But I've got to say, Till is a great entertainer, great talker, etc., etc. And Froch is just, Froch is hilarious and he's a beast. I don't know if it can happen. But Till against Rocky Fielding can happen.
Okay. Eddie, just before I let you go, obviously Coogan did an interview with you. Since then, as always with the Conor Benn case, another development comes in. Ukad have charged him, so get your reaction to that. I
know nothing about it. I wasn't aware of any suspension, any charge. All of the information I am receiving is coming via the media. In an apparent confidential process, and you have to talk about, Conor Benn's concern about a fair trial in this instance. You answer me the question. Amir Khan failed a test for 14 months, no one knew, and no members of the media knew. In this instance, every step by the British Boxing Board of Control and UKAD is being fed to the media, who are finding out before us.
Why do you think that is?
You answer your own. I mean, there's a reason. And the reason is because there's an agenda. There has to be. But, in good news for everybody, UKAD have the document, they have the report, which has been provided for them, and they will have to go through the process and have a trial. So everybody that wasn't happy with the situation, whatever they're happy with, they have to be happy now because that process is unfolding. What we want to find out is why are people, members of the media, knowing about this process before we even do? It makes absolutely no sense. And if you're Conor Benn, do you honestly believe that with all that happening, that you are going to get a fair process of trial here? And the answer is, in his opinion, no. But we are where we are, and we have to make our decisions, decide what he's going to do next, decide where he's going to fight. Obviously, the UKAD and British Boxing Board of Control have their jurisdiction. It's up to international governing bodies if they will sanction Conor Benn to fight.
Did you see a statement from California Commission saying they wouldn't license him?
And that's one commission. He's been offered licenses by multiple American commissions. It would be very straightforward for him to receive a license in America to fight. He can do it in Australia, in his home country. He can do it in the Middle East, wherever. But right now, all we'd like is some information, please. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak to the media and get all the information.
Just the last question on this. You believe that UKAD haven't actually gone through this 270-page document but have still charged him?
It'll be very quick. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, ultimately there will be a hearing for Conor Benn to go through that process. But I have absolutely no idea. Matt Christie, you won't mind me telling you, messaged me yesterday or 2 days ago, said, can you comment on Conor Benn's suspension? I said, what suspension? We have not been made aware of any suspension. I said, who told you? Various reliable sources. Oh, thank you. Could you ask the various reliable sources to let me know about it, or are you just going to conduct this investigation through the media? So the whole thing stinks, but we're in it. And no one can complain because we're in it. So there's going to be a conclusion, finally, somehow, some way, and we'll decide what we do.
On a slightly more lighter note, what are you doing tomorrow lunchtime?
Tomorrow lunchtime? Oh, I'm in London.
Have you forgot?
Why?
You put it on your Instagram.
Yeah. That's all right, isn't it?
You can expand.
All right. Yeah. No, I was going. Yeah. Tomorrow, I won't be at the weigh-in because I will be at the St George's charity lunch in London. sporting charity, and then coming back here Saturday. I will be at the 5k run. I've torn my calf. I will not be running, but I will be there. I'll be following everybody around. I'll be providing 10 o'clock at the statue, the John.
Have you just made that up?
Down by the Radisson, down there. Dan's going to tell me now.
Tell us now, string it.
Yeah. 10 a.m. I'll be back from London, ready to be a part of the 5k run on Saturday, which will take place at the John Batchelor statue, which is basically right in the middle of Cardiff city centre.
Shame. Coogan said if you were running, he would have gone as well.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Cheers for your time. Thank you.
I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,